I'm Jessica Eve from With Grace and Joy. Today we're going to work through a standing vinyasa. So these are, if you haven't noticed already, just short, maybe 25 to 40-minute flows, just to work a specific theme or section of the body or skill that we're trying to achieve to augment our existing yoga practice. I know that sometimes I don't feel like starting a practice on the floor. Maybe it's hot, maybe I've already been sitting down a bit, and once I've made the decision to personally practice and unroll my mat at home, I'm ready to just start moving on my 2 feet. So that's what this class is sort of geared to help you if you're feeling in that same mindset that you want to just get going and you want to start your practice standing. This is a good class to give a go to. So we're going to come to the top of our mat as we normally would with our toes a little closer than our heels. And we're going to find that neutrality, that length through the back. This time we're doing it in a standing capacity. So we're feeling a bit of weight and earthing down with our tailbone. And that weighing down or that neutralizing in the back side of the body draws the anterior side of the body in. Ribs are going to slightly squeeze and the shoulders are going to release away from the ears and away from one another. Let's turn the palms forward coming into this Samastiti and orient the neck or the head space so that the chin is running parallel with the floor and the top of the head is running parallel with the ceiling, arriving in a space that allows for the most length into the back of the neck. Let's close our eyes here, coming into a few breaths. Begin to notice sort of this dichotomy of stillness and movement, involuntary movement that's happening in the body, maybe slight swaying, twitching, blood pumping, breath moving, while the majority of the body is still solid and firm. As we begin the practice, just like any practice, we're going to need to work the section of our spine in different planes or range of motions and movement. So we're going to draw the hands up to the heart, and as we inhale, we're going to rise up. Find some length by lifting the arms up, keeping the shoulders down, and again, navel and ribs in. Let's exhale, hinge at the hips, coming into this Uttanasana position. If we need to, bend the knees. Even if we don't need to, but we want to, let's bend the knees, but keep the hips coming forward. Let the head hang, look towards the navel, and let the upper body be soft and relaxed. Give in to the idea, the force of gravity here. Again, finding some release through the backside of the body. As we take our next inhale, plant the hands, palms down, widen the heels so you're in that nice pigeon toe stance, and take your left hand between your feet in front of the feet, and lift up with your next inhale with your right arm, coming into some nice twist. Now let's see if we can draw the arm forward, coming into some mobility in the shoulder girdle, and swipe the hands, reaching up through the side body, up and over with the left arm, and as we exhale, almost like we're swimming forward with that left hand. Let's take our 2 peace fingers, hook the big toes, inhale, find length through the crown of the head to the tailbone, and then exhale, draw the chest as the knees are more straight into the legs. Let's take that 2 more times. Inhale, finding an extension. And exhale, folding forward. Last time. Inhale, activate the navel, shoulders down and back. And exhale. Taking the hands to the floor, let's inhale 1 more time. Nice flat back. So not like this. Flatten the back. If you have to come up a little higher, do so. Arms can even hang. What we're going to do is walk the body or move the body, if the arms aren't touching, to one side, getting a nice stretch on the opposite side of the body. Let's take the hands, walk it over, or again, just swaying over, but holding once we've found that lateral stretch in the side body. Let's take that a few more times. Again, just warming up the spine. Last time, maybe finding a little bit more depth into the stretch. Maybe not. And returning into neutral. So just finding a little bit of movement from side to side and slowly neutralizing into center. As though you're a cat
a baby, a kitten being pulled by your mom by the nape of the neck. Let the head and the arms rest and hang heavy as you draw the shoulders up and the hips forward. Coming back into the Samastiti, let's inhale, rise the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward into Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen into Udita. Exhale, release. And inhale again, like a ragdoll, back up. Inhale, activate. Exhale, fold, bend the knees into the chest. Inhale, activate. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Taking a pause as you exhale. Last time, inhale. This time as you fold forward, keep the knees as straight as you can. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to surrender. Again, straight body, but soft. And inhale, rise up. We're going to come right into our Surya Namaskara A's. So exhaling into this Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale into Chaturanga Dandasana, or maybe knees, chest, chin. Inhale, rising up. Again, let's pull the hips forward, shoulders down and back. Exhale, roll through the toes, arriving into downward facing dog. Looking here, let's find some strength. Really activate through the hands, thumbs, index finger, and pinky really pressing into the earth. Find the knees pressing through the backside of the leg and the thighs are turning outward slightly. Next, inhale, rise high to the tips of the toes. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Splitting the heels. Inhale, activate the body. Exhale, soften the body. Let's just take that 2 more times. Inhale, rising. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, returning through downward facing dog. Again, active foundation, firm foundation through the hands and the feet. Navel is in, drawing through pelvic rectum navel point. Next, inhale, rise high to the tips of the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or jump forward. Lengthen when you arrive. Exhale, surrender. We're going to take 1 more. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to just play around with our feet. So let's bend through the feet, bend through the knees. Step it back a little wide in our dog. Let's walk the hands together, narrowing our dog. Find the hands back where they normally are positioned. Let's extend right leg up. Open the hips, and then extend the leg out to the side. Drop it down, take it to the other side. Left leg rises, open through the hips, and come out to the side. Don't collapse through right side of the body, return through downward facing dog. Let's bend the right knee into the chest, coming into plank, and extend, kick it back up. Hold here, try to close the hip, meaning almost an internal rotation of that right femur, long, strong spine, gaze towards the navel. Drop the foot back down, downward facing dog. Let's take it to the other side. Left leg kicks up, draw the knee into the chest, coming into plank, and then extend back. Keep the hips square, almost an internal rotation of, again, that left femur. Don't collapse onto the right side of the body. Let's come back down. Widen the legs just a little bit. Arrive into a nice comfortable dog. And let's bend the right knee once again into the chest. And this time step that foot just right of center line. Rise up, warrior 1. Keep the hips square. Nice deep bend in that front knee. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Let's take the arms out to the side. Open up through the sternum. And exhale, draw the body forward, straighten the arms. Again, inhale, coming into a little bit of a back bend.
And exhale, release, lengthen through the spine. Last time, inhale, exhale. Plant the hands, framing the foot, and let's step back all the way into three-legged dog once again. Now let's open the hips, nice and wide. Start to look through the left armpit and maybe bend that right foot, or right knee, I should say, so you can see your right foot. Good, and then when you're ready, let's close it back off, arriving in downward facing dog again. Let's take that left leg, draw it in towards the chest, into this plank, and step the foot just left of center line, arriving into warrior one. Again, keeping the hips square. Be sure that the back foot isn't open too far. The toe should be facing the front corner of your mat. Inhale, open up through the sternum. Exhale, find length through the spine. Inhale, open up through the sternum. Exhale, lengthen. Keep steady, talking to myself too, and keep the hips forward. Last time. From here, frame the hands around the foot, step back into three-legged dog, open up the hips, widen the leg, perhaps start to look under that right shoulder, right armpit, and bend that leg so you might be able to see the foot. From here, close it back off with control, returning to downward facing dog. Next, inhale, rise high to the tips of the toes. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Lengthen when you arrive. Exhale, fold. Inhale, swoop it up. Exhale, back into the heart space. From here, inhale, draw that right knee up into the chest. Let's exhale, step it back once again into warrior one. Take a nice inhale here, and as you exhale, pivot that back foot so it runs parallel with the back of your mat. Open up the hips, advance this left knee, this front knee, into a deeper bend and press it towards the pinky side of the foot. Extend the arms out wide from the shoulders, drop the shoulders and activate the biceps. Look towards your left finger, holding warrior two. On the next breath, let's turn the palm up. Exhale, reach up and over. Don't collapse either knee. Don't bend the back knee. Don't sloppy forward with that front knee. Finding our exalted warrior. Coming back out of it, turn the palm, straighten the leg. Inhale, shift the hips back, fingers forward, and come into Trikonasana. Press the hips forward, shoulders back, look to the ceiling if it feels comfortable. From here, rise up. Let's take the hands into the hips and bring them out of the equation. Turn that front foot so it's also running parallel to the short side of your mat. Let's take the hands out across and reach around, clasping the palms and straightening the elbows as you inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips and come into a nice forward fold. Maybe resting the head to the floor. Maybe finding the fist close to the ground. Remembering we don't want to collapse the arms. Keep the fists together, maybe less mobility, but building more strength. From here, release the hands down. Let's take our left hand to our right foot, reach up and over with our right arm towards the ceiling, coming into a nice twist. Cross it over. Right hand to the left foot, left hand advances up to the ceiling, again coming into a nice twist. Let's come back through, bring the hands center, and just shift through the knees here a little bit, maybe playing around with the heels and the orientation of the foot, maybe coming all the way down to the ground, maybe finding some balance as we do so. Arriving back center, walking the hands towards the front of the mat, pivoting both heels so they're facing the back of the mat and stepping that front foot back into downward facing dog. Look towards the navel. Again, ground through the hands and the feet. Draw the navel in, squeeze the ribs. And on the next inhale, rise high to the toes. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Lengthen when you arrive, splitting the heels. Exhale, soften. Inhale, rising up. and back into the heart. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, draw that left knee up. Exhale, step back into warrior one. Keep the hips nice and square. Find again some dichotomy of asana where the two legs are pushing in oppositional directions and the bottom half of the body is pushing down while the top half of the body is rising up. On the next inhale, we're going to pivot the back foot so it runs parallel with the back of the mat, lengthening through the lumbar. Front knee pushes to the pinky side of the foot. Draw the arms away from the shoulders and activate the biceps. Look now towards your front arm. From this warrior two, turn the palm up, reach up and over. Again, keeping that front knee pushing out to the pinky side of the foot. As we come back, turn the palm down, straighten the leg, shift the hips, pressing the hips back and the fingers forward on the right side until we come down into Trikonasana. Pushing hips again forward and shoulders back. Looking up to the ceiling if it feels okay. Next inhale, rise up, perhaps taking the hands again to the hips, taking them out of the equation. Take a moment to roll the shoulders. And this time, taking either opposite elbow into the hands or arriving into secret prayer, reverse Anjali Mudra. Keep the elbows out, away from the body. Inhale up through the sternum, shoulders away from the ears, and come into a forward fold here. Find some length through the back of the legs. Find some length through the back side of the body. Let's take some nice bends. Again, playing around with balance, not using our hands, just our lower body to arrive into the position. Coming back neutral, and then releasing the hands once again, toe, heel, and coming into a nice deep squat. From here, place left hand down, right arm up, and then right arm down, left arm up. Plant the hands again, and toe, heel as you straighten the legs, walking the hands almost in line with the feet and dropping to the crown of the head. Try to push the hips forward, press down with the palms, and see if we can arrive into a headstand. If not, just holding in the forward fold. When you feel ready, coming back down nice and easy. So gently releasing and beginning to walk the hands now to the front of the mat as you pivot both heels facing the back of the mat. Once again, stepping back into downward facing dog. Taking a nice breath here. Maybe coming into child's pose if you need it. Next inhale, rise high to the tips of the toes. Exhale, walker, jump to the front of the mat. Lengthen once again. Exhale, surrender. Inhale, rise up. We're going to come right back into a Surya and play once we get to dog. Exhale, folding forward into the Uttanasana. Keep the hips forward. Lengthening on our next inhale, activating pelvic rectum navel lock and coming into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rising up. And exhale, returning through downward facing dog. Here we're going to kick that right leg up and away. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest, step it just right of center line. Once again, arriving in through warrior one. From here, we've got choices with the arms. We can keep them up, maybe open, into cactus, or even into secret prayer, like we were before. On our next inhale, we're going to shift the weight so our head is over our big toe, and we're going to exhale, come into warrior three, keeping that internal rotation of that back leg. When we feel ready, we're going to begin to open our hips and our shoulders, arriving into Chaturandasana. And from here, with control, bend the leg and come into warrior two. Let's release the arms or bring them out to the sides wherever they were, coming back in through, exalted, and then finding our arm into the thigh or maybe the floor and dropping the hips low, arriving into Parsvakonasana. Let that hand drop to the floor, frame the foot,
Step it back up and away into three-legged dog once again. And return to downward facing dog. Let's take it to the other side. Inhale, rising high to the toes. Exhale, coming to the front of the mat. Lengthening, releasing. Inhale, rising. Folding back. Inhaling, activating. Exhaling, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up, hips are forward. Exhale, back through downward facing dog. Left leg rises up. Bend it into the chest, step it just left of center line, and rise up into warrior one, thinking about the arm choice you want for this side. As we inhale, shift the weight forward, head over the big toe. As you exhale, lift the leg, shifting to lift, internal rotation of the back foot. When you feel ready, begin to open the hips and the shoulders and drop it down with control into warrior two. Finding that exalted warrior. And now coming into either a mini Parsvakonasana or a full expression by dropping the hips a little lower. And framing the foot once again, stepping it back and away, three-legged dog. Extend it down into downward facing dog. Inhale, rise high to the toes. Exhale, walk or jump forward. Lengthen to arrive. Exhale, surrender. And inhale, rise up. Exhale into the heart space. Let's open up into Samastiti and take a breath. On the next inhale, take the hands into the heart. Draw the knee into the chest. We're working a similar sequence, just not through the suri. Let's step back into warrior one. Slowly open into warrior two. Turn the palm up, become exalted. Flush it back and come into Parsvakonasana. Go ahead and find some length. Start to pivot forward. Orient that foot so it's parallel with the back or the front of the mat and come into some nice twist. As you arrive center, toe heel, once again arriving into a deep squat, what we might know of as Malasana. Find the elbows pressing into the hips. And feel a release here through the seat. Maybe opening the arms, playing around with a little bit of movement, arriving high to the tips of the toes if it's in your practice. If not, maybe alternating one foot and then the other. From here, begin to lift the hips, keep the body low, drop the right arm under the right leg, under the hamstring, and see if you can touch on the sacrum, palm facing up. Extend the left arm up and over, and allow it to be grabbed by the right. Find the weight now into the left foot, dragging or tiptoeing the right foot under the body, under center line. Draw the navel in and press down into the heel as you exhale, coming into standing. Press the hip forward. Draw the gaze upward and to the left side, and if it's in your practice, begin to straighten the leg. Gently, when you're ready, drop the leg down, nice and easy, same way you came out of it, widening the feet, releasing the hands, and just find a little release through the hips. Take it now to the other side. Left arm drops down under the left leg at the middle of the hamstring. Palm faces up as it taps onto your sacrum. Extending that right arm up and over and allowing it to be grabbed by the left. Now bring the weight into the right side of the body, tiptoeing the left toe under center line. As you exhale, press down with the heel and start to stand up. Pressing the hips forward, looking to the right side of the body, and extend the legs straight if it's in the practice.
When you're ready, with control and grace, drop it back down and release. Find the hands on the floor, widen the feet out nice and wide. And again, coming back into what we might know as warrior fours or those little surfers. Just finding some release here, maybe some balance. And walk it back center. Step it back, downward facing dog. From here, rise very high to the tips of the toes. Walk the feet, trying to bend the knees as little as possible until they arrive between the hands. Long, strong legs and arms, and come into a forward fold and relax. From here, take the left hand onto the hip, take the right hand into two-piece fingers, and hook the big toe. Shift the weight into the left foot, bend the knee slightly as you come standing onto the left leg, and advance the right leg up to the chest. When you feel ready, keep the hips square, don't lead with the hip, and let the leg straighten, lengthening through the back of the knee. From here, let's rise that left arm up and sneak it across to the outside of the right foot. Draw the right hand now to the hip, elbow facing to the back of the mat, coming into a twist. If you feel ready, turn the gaze to the back of the mat. Come back forward, let go of the foot, see if you can hold here, hold here, hold here. Come into tree from here without using the hand, knee open, tailbone down, taking the hands into the heart space. Begin to lift the knee and create little number 8s. Finding differences in the size and then flowing in the different direction, reversing that pattern. When you feel ready, begin to coil this right leg around the left. Full expression toes are facing the front. Open the arms out to the side. Right arm drops under left and it coils around. Lift the elbows while you drop the shoulders. Look up through the sternum and see if we can bring our elbows down to the knees. As we rise back up nice and easy, uncoil, draw the knee up to the chest, release the arms into cactus, and again extend, kicking through the heel. Holding, 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 releasing, exhale, folding. Take the right hand into the hip, take the left hand, two-piece fingers, piston hook the left toe. Bend both knees, shift the weight into the right foot, and begin to stand up here. Find the hips square, core engaged, and extend through. When you're ready, lengthen through that right side of the body, cross over. Find the left hand now onto the hip, draw the elbow back to the back side of the mat, and turn the gaze there to follow. Looking back forward, release and hold. Find the leg into Vrksasana or tree pose without the use of your hands. Coming into Anjali Mudra or prayer pose. Taking a breath here. Find the knee out and the tailbone down. Start to come into some little number 8s or infinity signs on this leg. Again, alternating the range of motion as well as the direction of the shape you're making. And begin to coil it around that right leg, hooking the foot all the way around if possible. Extending the arms out, left goes under as the arms coil, elbows lift to the shoulders release. When you feel ready, if it's in your practice, draw the navel in, squeeze the ribs as you exhale, coming elbows to knees. Gently rising back up, uncoiling the leg, extending it forward, opening the arms. holding here, and releasing. Go ahead and shake it out, and come into Samasthiti one more time. We're going to come into just a few more postures, working again through some standing frameworks. So we're going to come into our dancer pose. We're going to take dancer two different ways, so you can choose what option feels good for you. To start with, we're going to take our right hand, drop it down, almost as if we're hitchhiking and turning the palm upward. Find that that thumb is facing back as you draw the foot towards the bum and match the palm in the inside of the foot. So please don't grab this way. You can see what happens to the shoulder as I take my hand to the outside of the foot. As I take it to the inside, the shoulder becomes more open, which facilitates our energetic body opening and our physical body being able to sustain the pose. Don't open up with the hips. Hips stay square. This is a standing back bend. Extend the left hand forward so you have a point to focus on. Keep the thigh facing down. And when you're ready, release, draw the hands at the heart, draw the knee into the chest, and see if you can extend forward, catching at a sandwich hold the foot. If it's in your practice, draw the elbows towards the calf and the head towards the knee. And let's release. And shake it out. You have the option of taking that to the other side or practicing what we call flipping our grip. So I'm going to turn to this side since I'm going to do the other leg. And I'm going to illustrate what we call flipping the grip, which requires a little bit more shoulder mobility than the previous option. So flipping the grip starts essentially the same way. I like to think of it, as my teacher Debbie says, like you're hitchhiking. You bend that knee so that the foot comes towards the bum, and you catch not in the inside if you're flipping the grip. If you're flipping the grip, you catch on the outside, and just as you see, I don't close the shoulder. I turn and bring the thumb into the ankle, and the pinky is resting at the bridge of my toes. As I open, I flip my shoulder up, and I reach back and grab with the other hand. Again, thighs facing the ground, hips are square, standing back bend. When I'm ready, I release, draw the hands into the chest, extend the foot forward, catching it in that sandwich grip, draw the elbows down to the calf if it's in my practice, and the head towards the knee. And I release, and I shake it off. From here, I'm going to just come into a forward fold to nourish and neutralize the back. Nothing too deep. If I need it for my hamstrings or my lower back, I'm going to bend my knees. I personally don't, so I'm going to keep my knees straight and just feel the weight coming into the upper body. Taking a few breaths here. Gently, I'm going to rise up, arriving back into Samasthiti. And from here, I have the option of moving my practice down to the floor to start cooling down and working with some seated postures, or perhaps just taking a rest into Shavasana and ending the practice today just by focusing in the standing asanas. So hopefully you enjoyed the practice. Thanks so much, and be sure to check out the other classes online.